What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Buzz Guy. You already know what it is. Back with another one. So let's talk about it. So, if y'all now don't know, you know what I'm saying, the whole situation, I don't know if y'all was keeping up with it. Well, the Janky promoter got fired by the game. Now the game fired the Janky promoter. Now if y'all don't know who the Janky promoter is, the Janky promoter is Wack 100. So basically I saw a video, or somebody sent it to me, where the Janky promoter wasn't at an event. It was at a restaurant, and game's manager introduced himself to, I think the boy name is Nino or Nano, I forgot the kid name, but the streamer dude. And he introduced himself. And the game, he said, yo, I'm the game manager. If y'all want to do any business with me, so far I'm the one handling this business now. Dude wasn't Wack 100. Wack 100 was nowhere to be found, nowhere around. I've been noticing that the Janky promoter hasn't really been around old boy. And I know that there was some conflict with the Janky promoter and what he said about Nipsey. Now the Janky promoter, Wack 100, it's not surprising he got fired. It's not surprising that he's not the manager no more. Because you have to look, right? The Janky promoter been out here basically capping. He got the diapers that, you know, Floyd is involved with, right? He's saying, yo, I got this, I got that. And it's like, he on some Janky promoter shit. Like, he remind me so much of that movie, you know. And then, you know, Ray J supposed to be his client. Ray J going to jail, getting arrested. It's a lot of goofy stuff with dude, right? Now, Janky promoter, y'all remember Game? He was being sued by the chick that was on the show when he was doing For the Love of Game. And the chick that was on the show said he did such and such to her, you know what I'm saying? And really, Game didn't go to court, and he would have won that case. I think Game would have won that case. But the only reason why he didn't want to go, because he didn't go to court, right? So mind you, he was dealing with that, with the money influence and all that, and you know, he was putting different things and different names and avenues, try to, like, you know, basically try to not get his funds to this woman, right? They've been having that lawsuit for a couple years now. So he had moved it in, because a lot of that stuff that you see Wack got, it came from the Janky promoter. The Janky promoter don't own none of that. You know, Wack don't own none of that. The cribs and all that. He didn't own none of that. That was coming out of game resources, and he was hummer stunting with game money, like a typical Janky promoter. So now, you know, y'all know the story how they got connected because of the whole situation where I think it was Game and I think Infamous Mob and Suge Knight got involved. He wasn't doing business with Son. He ain't had no dealings with him. He was doing shows. He was getting shows booked for him and stuff like that. And then he started like taking on this, oh, he was the manager, right? But the Janky promoter wasn't doing his job, you know. But what people gotta realize is his original managers was D-Mac, T-Money. You know, that's how, like, early on, if you remember, Game was supposed to be with, you know, when it wasn't going through with him and Dre, he was supposed to go to Bad Boy because of the affiliations with D-Mac and Bad Boy. But because the Janky promoter, not Janky promoter, Jimmy Henchman was his man. Jimmy Henchman and D-Mac was basically, you know, was co-managing. Because everybody thought it was just Jimmy Henchman. No, it was D-Mac, T-Money, and Jimmy Henchman. And then the Janky promoter came in a little bit after Jimmy Henchman was out the picture. Then the Janky promoter, you know, tried to just swarm right in. So the Janky promoter was hummer stunting, right? Because I gotta remember the Janky promoter wasn't originally managing Ray J. That was Stutterbox, right? Stutterbox was managing. He moved Stutterbox out the way in the whole situation. He backdoored the nigga Stutterbox with the whole Del Dog, Main Street, and Shaq thing. And then he just finessed his way in there. You know, even though he also he did what Stutterbox did, but you know, it is what it is. So the Janky promoter finessed his way into the situation with Game. And then after Game been going through his legal situation, Game is now controlling his business because the last album, the Janky promoter was doing a lot of BS, and he kind of hurt Game's album because he had a record. He had 2 records that couldn't make it off the album. I think he had 1 record that was with NBA Youngboy, and then he had another record that was with Nipsey, and that got taken off the album because the Janky promoter kept doing this all day on Clubhouse. And if you a manager, bro, manage. If you just doing this, you're not a manager. And let's just keep it real. Like, Game is an established artist, Ray J's an established artist. They don't really need the Janky promoter. You know what I'm saying? Now, he got these artists like Blueface, and he got artists like some other artists that we don't even know or heard of. You know what I'm saying? That's not really, he keep talking about, I got the Coyotes, I got this. But you don't hear none of these artists because none of them is going anywhere. Like, he had one that was on his Clubhouse. I forgot his name. I used to talk to dude. Dude was kind of cool. He ain't went nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you a music, you supposed to be in the music industry. You a manager. Manage. Don't be online doing all this. But you gotta understand, he's working. You know, the managing thing wasn't his thing. He was in there to infiltrate. You understand what I'm saying? And they told him, yo, we want you to go deep cover into the music industry and infiltrate. Because he's not technically a manager. Because the manager's not doing all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you see everybody else, like, he ain't not 6ix9ine manager. He's not nobody manager. Yeah, he may do business. He may book a show. But he's not a manager. He's not a manager. You know what I'm saying? Because managers don't be on the internet just tongue wrestling all day. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be booking. You gotta be handling business. You know what I'm saying? Because my business, I'm putting it in your hands. And if my business is fucked up, then your business is gonna be fucked up because now you fucking up what I got going. And I can't have that. So yeah, he really not a manager, man. He's a dude that's just a figurehead that just run his fucking mouth. And that's why I think a lot of people don't completely like realize that like he is not who he say he is. Like if he was who he say he was, it'd have been a whole different, you know, situation. You would start seeing better results. But he was a fraud from the get-go. But we knew that. You know, we knew the Janky promoter was the Janky promoter. You know what I'm saying? That movie, I think Ice Cube was 10 years ahead with that movie. Oh, when that movie came out? 17 years. Yeah, he was 17 years ahead with that movie. Because when that movie came out, we didn't know that it was going to be a real life Janky promoter in Wack 100. And he really showed that he's a Janky promoter. You know what I'm saying? He ain't who he say he is. You gotta look, when a nigga got a lot of lawsuits, he got a lot of lawsuits. Wack, he got so many lawsuits, and it's not even funny. He got a lawsuit with Ray J, he got a lawsuit with him. Like, dude, you bad for business, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I ain't never did no real straight up business with him, bro, because he ain't no dude I would wanna put my interest in business. Dudes was thirsty, bro. Yo, whack that dude. Like, no, he ain't that dude. He's a Janky promoter. You know what I'm saying? Because if he was really that dude, dudes would be not having lawsuits up the kazoo. He be getting a lot of endorsement deals. He be getting a lot of shit where you like, okay, we caking over here. For him, you ain't caking. You just baking. It's crazy. But it is what it is. Your boy Scott. Salute.